for us facing an increasingly hostile and really a repaganized culture, we need to have kind of the same mindset. We need to have an understanding that God has placed us here. God has determined the times and appointed seasons. We see that throughout Scripture. We see it in this passage. God is the one who has caused us to live in this time. And so all of our interactions and our thinking with how to live in this world should be starting with understanding that God is sovereign. God has put us here for a purpose. How that works out with each person is obviously going to be different, but the starting point is the sovereignty of God. For fathers, knowing that your duties are in a sense the same. You're to love your wife, you're to love your children, raise your children, educate them, discipline them, wash your wife in the water of the word, and all these other commands that we see throughout Scripture, but also understand that God's called you to do this in a time where you're in the vast minority. You're the outcast. You're the one that's going to be the strange ones that the rest of society is going to look at you and be like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And saying, well, because our sovereign God has told us to do this. And he's even called us to do this when it's not the fashionable thing to do. Same thing for wives, for mothers. The duties of a godly wife is not changed in a pagan culture. Your duty to love your children, to love your husband, to submit to him, to do all these things has not changed. It's going to be harder though, because you're going to face a culture that is going to want to rebel against everything you're trying to do and everything you say is good. The women of the pagan culture are going to look at you and say, why are you living like this? Why are you doing these things? You need to be more focused on yourself. And the godly Christian wife's response is, no, I'm called to love my husband, love my children, raise a family, be a homemaker. These are my primary duties, even in the midst of a hostile and pagan world.